At a time when video games are widely seen in society, I think that the topic of how video games actually affect our good will be very important to you. Why do we play video games? Today we will talk about what happens if you play video games and the good aspects of video games. So if you are new to our channel, subscribe now. Also, we hope to bring many important videos through this channel in the future, so stay with us. Okay, without further ado, let's get to today's video. How video games change the world more than just entertainment. Video games have come a long way from their humble beginnings in the 1970s. What started as simple pixelated screens with basic sound effects has transformed into a multi-billion-dollar global industry, touching every part of our lives, from entertainment to education to art and even our social interactions. Let's take a look at how video games evolved and why they matter more than just as a form of fun. The early days, simple beginnings. In the early 1970s, video games were incredibly simple. Games like Pong and Space Invaders were the first to capture public attention. These games had very basic objectives and were often found in arcades. Yet, despite their simplicity, they laid the foundation for what video games would eventually become. Back then, no one could have predicted that video games would evolve into one of the most influential forms of media, the growth of home consoles. The 1980s marked the birth of the home console market. With systems like the Atari 2600 and later the Nintendo Entertainment System, NES, video games entered people's homes. This was a turning point because it allowed games to become a more personal experience. Games like Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda introduced players to expansive worlds, complex narratives, and characters they could connect with. As technology improved, so did the gaming experience. By the 1990s, consoles like the Sony PlayStation and Nintendo 64 brought 3D graphics and deeper storytelling, pushing video games from simple distractions into more immersive adventures. Games like Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid began to show that video games could tell stories that rivaled movies in their emotional depth. Video games as art and culture. Fast forward to today, and video games are no longer just about entertainment. They've become a legitimate form of art and storytelling. In 2011, the U.S. Supreme Court even ruled that video games are a form of protected speech, just like books, music, and films. Games like The Last of Us, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Journey show that video games can be visually stunning, emotionally moving, and intellectually stimulating. But what's even more interesting is how video games have influenced other parts of culture. Popular franchises like Minecraft have created entire communities that share ideas, build structures, and even learn about engineering and programming through play. On the other hand, games like Fortnite have become social platforms where people meet, talk, and even attend virtual concerts by artists like Travis Scott or Ariana Grande. Educational and therapeutic value. Beyond entertainment, video games are now used as educational tools. Educational games like Minecraft Education Edition and Kerbal Space Program allow players to learn about science, math, and history in interactive and engaging ways. Schools and universities have begun to adopt video games as a way to teach students concepts that are difficult to explain with traditional textbooks. Video games have also shown potential as therapeutic tools. Studies have found that video games can help people deal with anxiety, depression, and even chronic pain. In fact, some hospitals use video games to distract patients from pain and to help them recover more quickly. Games that require problem-solving or strategic thinking, like Tetris or Portal, can also help improve cognitive functions such as memory and concentration. The rise of esports. Another fascinating development in the video game world is the rise of esports, or competitive gaming. What was once just a niche hobby has exploded into a massive industry with professional players, teams, and tournaments that draw millions of viewers. Games like League of Legends, Dota 2, and Counter-Strike Global Offensive are now played at the highest levels, with players competing for prize pools worth millions of dollars. Esports has grown so rapidly that it's even being considered for inclusion in the Olympics. It's also brought about a new kind of celebrity, the professional gamer. Players like Ninja and Faker have become household names, with millions of fans watching their streams on platforms like Twitch and YouTube. The future of video games. So, what does the future hold for video games? With advances in technology like virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality, AR, games are becoming more immersive than ever. Players can step into entirely new worlds, interacting with characters and environments in ways that were previously unimaginable. Games like Half-Life, Alex, and Beat Saber are just the beginning of what VR gaming can offer. Beyond VR, artificial intelligence, AI, is set to revolutionize game development by creating more dynamic, responsive worlds and characters. Imagine playing a game where every character has their own personality and reacts to your decisions in ways that feel more human than scripted. In addition, the boundary between video games and other media will continue to blur. With games like Cyberpunk 2077 crossing over into movies, books, and even merchandise, video games are now influencing how we experience entertainment as a whole, more than just fun. In the end, video games have become much more than just a way to pass the time. They've shaped our culture, changed the way we learn, and are pushing the boundaries of technology and creativity. Whether you're a casual player or a hardcore gamer, it's hard to deny that video games have had a profound impact on the world, and they're only going to keep growing in importance. This story shows how video games have evolved into a powerful force in both entertainment and culture while touching on their educational and therapeutic benefits. I hope this video gives you some insight into the good side of video games. No problem with video games, but you prioritize your education and daily work because you have to create your future. That's my advice. So what do you think of today's video? Be sure to comment your thoughts below. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, subscribe now. Don't forget to share with your gaming friends too, so I'll say goodbye for today. See you in a new video. Good day, everyone.